Hey guys, it's TechRain here. In today's video, we'll be reviewing the DJI Osmo Action 4. That's right, if you guys do not know, I recently picked this action camera up for my tech channel here, plus also my lawn business, because I plan to start incorporating some body cam footage into my PC builds or just some of my videos in general when the angle makes the most sense, because sometimes I record videos and I like having multiple angles to show you guys the best perspective possible to make it easier for you to follow the video, and sometimes I just can't really do that with the angles I have. So this will make it more possible of actually doing so. And it's also an action camera, so I can use it for my lawn business or for when I go skateboarding or to events and stuff, and just make it really fun for some like nice action shots. And the question we're gonna answer here today is this action camera still good in 2024? Because there is an Action 5 camera from DJI, but it's like $500. I'll put the exact price here, and this is $250, so it's like half the price. So I went with this instead, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. So the question is, will it actually hold on up? Because if you guys do not know, I have a old GoPro here that I really haven't used in a while. This is the GoPro Hero, the original, like Plus. So yeah, this thing is really showing its age. It only does 1080p 30. I've been having some problems with it when I start recording on it. It doesn't record properly, to just some other stuff. And yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about the new GoPro cameras, but also some bad things like about them overheating. And I want really reliable stuff when I'm actually using it. And DJI has been really good with being reliable, but also innovating recently. So that's why I primarily went with them instead of anything else, especially since I had the DJI mics and receiver. So I might try to see if this works with it, because there's a lot of potential I could see with this actual action camera. Here's a fun story for you guys though. If you guys do not know, my friend had a GoPro at one point. We went to like Lake Anna, went tubing and stuff like that. All you need to know is that my head hit his head and he had a head strap on. He lost his GoPro in the water. So yeah, that's again, there's a reason why I will not take action cameras in the water ever again. So let's get into the unboxing. So first of all, packaging itself, nothing too special to it, but we can actually open it from this side here, because actually there's a lip that says open, and we can just plop this on open like so. So we got the camera itself, we got some batteries and some additional stuff. With that though, we got access to the camera in itself. So first of all, we got this cute little screen on the back here that you can actually see stuff with. You got a battery pack, and then you can pull this lip down, I'm pretty sure, to get access to it. Actually, no, you push it upward on that button, get access to the battery pack, and it slips open like that. And that's where the battery can actually go for the camera, which is nice. I'm also just realizing too, I was wondering where the micro SD card slot is. It's literally right next to the battery. See the battery here, and the micro SD slot's right there. And then on top of that, we do have a magnetic feeding area here, so you can place like a magnet there and just holds it in place for mounting. Then we have another spot here on the slip that you can slip on open to get access to a USB-C port for like charging, just getting information off it, all that jazz. My question with this is, which we'll be testing later here, is can you connect this USB-C port to the wireless receiver for the actual DJI receiver, and then use this for like an input audio device? So I'm going to test that a little bit later. We also got the accessories, which of course is where all the other stuff's going to come with. Hopefully they give us 2 batteries, because my big thing with it is they do have their own battery pack that can like charge your batteries for it. It doesn't charge the batteries in itself, as a case, it just charges them if you plug them via USB. I'll probably pick that up later here. I will have everything like I bought for this thing in the description area. Of course, you do use those links, they do support the channel, so always appreciated. So we got 1 battery for the actual camera, we got a little mounting thing, we got the magnetic mounting thing, which is probably the coolest thing ever, and then 1 actual mounting piece right here, and also a USB-C to USB-C cable. But yeah, these are all the accessories. This just comes with the actual camera itself if you just straight up buy it. This is the favorite thing about this, because literally all this does is magnet, really strong magnet, clips onto place. You can hear it like lock in too, and that way it won't come off. And you of course can pinch it here to actually get the magnet to come on off. So it's a strong magnet. I actually have to try to pinch it and pull at the exact same time, because that's how strong the magnet actually is. Another thing you have access to is this body for the actual camera itself. So if you're doing some more extreme stuff with it, you have some extra protection. You can literally lift up this latch, make sure that I have this red button, line up with the record button in the actual camera itself, and then you can just do like so, and slip it on in. Of course, I am trying to slip it on the wrong way. With that, you can put your camera in and then lock it back down, and that you got some extra protection on it. You can also push the power button this way, and then you can also open the slip here, and then you can do anything else with it you want to, but I'm not going to really use this for the time being. So you want to install your battery, you just take the teeth, line it on up with the actual bottom of the camera, push it on in. You grab your micro SD card and actually install it the exact same way, and just push it on down. And then you close this, slip it on down, your stuff is installed. So we got the camera here out for you guys to see. So first of all, you got your actual record button, the little screen, and you got another one on the back here, which is so nice. And these are actually pretty good looking screens too. They look so awesome. They actually just do your thing. Now there are different settings depending on what you want to do. If you want to unlock the screen to get interactive, you got to tap the screen first, swipe up to unlock. Now there you have a few different options. On the right side here, we have a battery. If you tap this, it'll just say how much percent you have. If you click on these two dots here, it will take you into some settings for more complex stuff. So there's a pro mode. You have the field of view. You can switch this from wide to ultra wide to even just wide in general, and also standard. We're going to use this for the time being, but we will show you guys a recording test later here where you use all three while riding an electric scooter. So we're going to just confirm this for the time being. You can also do some enhance some stuff for like low light, and then you can just toggle this on and off. For me, I'm not going to mess with this for the time being. You also have some image adjustments you can mess with too if you want to do like portrait and stuff, but we're just going to do default. Now we also have a pro mode. If you go in here, you can get messy with some of the stuff you want to do. You can mess with the exposure. Right now it's on auto. I'm not going to mess with it for the time being because we are just going to do a test without any special settings, just what you get out of the box picture wise. White balance, field of view, color. You can actually change the color bandwidth on this to D-Log 10-bit, but you don't need to do that if you don't want to for the time being. Now, if you actually click on this icon on the top right here, you can actually mess with the actual noise cancellation stuff. So you can enable it for windows, on or off. We're going to leave it on for the time being. You can also mess with the stereo settings too, the monotone to just stereo in general. So you can do that. You can mess with some stuff in here and get really creative and productive with it. We're just going to leave it on the default pro settings for the time being. If you want to back out of this, all you do is swipe right and it'll take you back to the home page. Now, you can actually zoom in by holding this 1x area here on your screen. And then when you hold it, it will let you zoom in if you want to. But we don't have to do this for the time being. You can just untap if you don't want to zoom. It's a cool feature though. We also have the display settings. Now, regular rip is going to be 1080 30. But we actually can mess with this from 4K 30, 4K 60 to even 4K 120. We'll record 4K for the time being. And there's also a rock steady mode. So this just makes it easier for you if you are going on bumpy terrains. You can change it from like just default where you're gonna have a lot more shaking to actually rock steady, making it so like it's not gonna be as shaky, but it's gonna zoom in a bit of crop. And this is gonna be rock steady plus, which is gonna make it so like it's if you're going down a really rocky terrain, it's really bumpy, you won't have as much bumpiness to it, but you will actually zoom in and lose a little bit of your resolution to it. The rock steady one is the one you primarily want to use unless you're doing something crazy. Then of course you have another option on the top left here. You have a loop feature. You can enable this as one of your settings and record it to max, or the 5 minutes, 20 minutes to even an hour, but we're gonna leave this as it is for the time being. Next, if you actually click on this icon here, it will take you into some additional actual camera settings where you can mess with, just like if you want to make this record video, to actually take photos, to even doing some other stuff like slow-mo and also times lapse. So this is where like you get crazy with your time lapse depending on like you want to make it 1080p. You can actually increase the speed of it and stuff, but we're not going to mess with this too much. And finally, you have the YouTube icon right here, which if you click on this, it will actually show you what videos you've already recorded on your device. And that way you can see like I've already recorded one video, nothing special. Click on the 4 dots on the top here. It will actually show you what else you've recorded, but you don't need to really mess with this at all, to be honest with you. And then you go back to the home page. Now we'll get to do the fun part. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test this actual camera with just the default settings right off the rip. So all we're using is, of course, default pro settings. We toggle the pro mode, and that way we just have auto white balance for our exposure, and also just for everything else just being normal. I'll probably mess with some more settings later here with the 10-bit color, just because I feel like color grading of it will be really nice. I've been seeing some videos on it, so I'll probably enable it, but just not for the time being. So let's try it on out. So here's some footage of me actually using my scooter and actually using the wide field of view mode, and on top of that 4K 60. It looks pretty good. A little bit buzzy because then again it's on nighttime, getting dark, and there's not much lighting for the actual lens. But when we actually switched it into was the ultra wide mode, you can actually see my handlebars slightly better. Now keep in mind we did have the rock steady mode going on for each of these tests, so the rock steady mode was actually working really well because it was really bumpy when I was driving. I thought the footage was going to get absolutely messed up, but it actually came in clutch and made the little footage actually like really good and not actually too cropped in. So our next test is comparing the DJI Action 4 to my Sony DSLR 4K camera. Now keep in mind this camera in itself actually looks really good with the shadows. I feel like it's a little bit more realistic with the lighting compared to my Sony. My Sony makes it look really good, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like it's a little bit too much. Now I could actually not allow as much light in, but I think it looks good with a little bit more light. This is a mic test 1 2 1 2, just to see kind of how the audio is in the thing. Now keep in mind I don't expect it to be good. Okay, so we're doing now a little mic test with it with the DJI microphone. We were able to get it in. So it came with that USB-C to USB-C cable. And what I did was take one end of it, plug into the USB-C port on the actual camera in itself, and the other USB-C end into the DJI mic receiver where its USB-C port was at, so it connects. And I can confirm the mic works with it, which is awesome because my problem with my old GoPro is I can't connect a mic to it, which was annoying. I feel like that's a lot of problem with action cameras. You can't hook up anything to them because then you can't really record on board to the camera itself for better audio quality, because some people want to just be able to do that. So I'm glad you're able to do that. So let's get into my honest thoughts about the DJI Action Pro. Do I think it was worth the $250? And what are my thoughts on the other features that come with it? So I feel like so far, $250 for this action camera is pretty good. Now keep in mind, if I was to buy a GoPro, I think like the GoPro here 12 is like $300, something ridiculous like that. So spending for an older model of an action camera that's not the latest greatest, but the second best thing, is not bad. I feel the rock steady mode was actually like cool. Some features with cameras and microphones really carry depending on what they do. Like some new microphones have really good noise cancellation. So I feel like for this rock steady mode absolutely just does so much work for it, especially on top of it too. You can do 4K 120, has all these really nice features, and I figured out you can actually hook up the app with this when you start it on up, so that way you have it like moving around, right? You can't really see a full good picture of it because it's kind of a small canvas on the front and back, but with the actual app you can make it so you can see the front actual screen of it when you move it around. So you can see here I have my little phone, actually have the app, and as soon as I start moving this camera around, it moves in real time, which is so freaking good. And oh my god, the colors on this are so nice. And keep in mind, these are just like the pro default settings. I'm not doing anything. Like my wallpaper looks amazing, if that makes sense. So yeah, the app and stuff and the other features are really nice. My big problem with like some apps I use, like one for the OBS spot, they have for the tail air I use, I had to like manually hook it up all the time. So the cool thing with this is I can actually just close the app on my phone. I'm at the phone, here's the app, I'm gonna close it, and then let's just say for example here I was gonna reopen the DJI app. It should just instantly load the phone because not the phone but the camera, because of the fact it's a device actually listed on it. So it's gonna say, hey, your camera is available to pick up on, so it's gonna pick up on that camera and then share it. So as soon as you turn on this camera and you have your phone Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on and you load up the app, if this is on, it'll connect automatically, and that's so nice. That makes my life so much easier instead of having like the process of doing all this hoops and holes just to get access to it. So that's pretty nice. You can also mess with some other stuff in here, but primarily you can just use this and just use this to kind of check see how the thing looks. So the question is, do I feel like the Action 4 is still good in 2024? And I'd say the answer to it is yes. Now, if I had the money a little bit more, I would probably gotten the Action 5. But I decided just not to get that because, like, in all fairness, there are slightly better colors, and also the brightness is better on that one, because like I said about it earlier, the Sony was better than this just because the brightness is slightly better, and the Action 5 has better brightness colors for lights and also darks. So the reason I didn't really go with it though, because it just didn't make sense to, and I thought this was good enough. So I'm happy with the results though. But what are you guys' honest thoughts about the Action 4 in the comments down below? You guys like it? You guys don't like it? Be curious to see what you guys say. And the question is, do you think you'll pick up one for yourself, or do you think you're gonna pick up a GoPro instead? Yeah, I love everything though I listed in this video down below. Of course, use these on those links. They do support the channel. If you did enjoy the review here today though, make sure to smash the like button, give the subscribe to miss the future videos, and I'll see you for my one Tech Rant out.